Good morning. I think I've got my Gizmo connected, my microphone. We're going to do an alfalfa update. So, there it is. That's it. Now, I do have some weeds out here that need to be tended to. I got the herbicide on order. I'm waiting for the phone call that it's come in. But I do have a little bit of lamb's quarter coming up in here. And we're getting to the point now that lamb's quarter and ragweed. Ooh. So what I'm doing here today is actually working on the machine. I don't really want to show my machines just yet because I have a process that I need to. Oh my God, I'm going to unplug it. I don't want it to be going off. What I have to do is I have to change the magazine. Every once in a while, you get enough animals coming through here, or wind. Wind will set these things off, right? And the wind, when it sets them off, I think one of these blanks come out of there. Okay, so I got a live one there. I know I had a live one. I'll have to pick it up. So, anyways, these blanks, they go through them on a windy day, which is fine. I'm learning about these things. I built them. They're mine. I designed them. I built them. Me and Grant and Timothy did the majority of the work. I did all the welding, at least 90% of the welding. And yeah, because there's a lot of welding that goes into these things. The stand. The biggest part of the welding part is the actual firing mechanism for the 22 blanks. It takes a long time to build those things. And if these things actually do exactly what they're doing, they are working. They're working wonderfully. But if they become something that I can sell, which is what I'm ultimately planning on doing, I'm going to have to piece them out so someone else can actually build them, okay? And not build them, but at least, let's see if she comes on now. I'm going to plug this in. It's going to make noise. No? I think it did. So that's the noise that it makes. There's blue lights, and there's a reason for that. Over white lights or red lights or green lights. And I mean, I could tell some of the secrets. One of them is that deer do not like blue light. Bugs the shit out of them, like pretty badly. Deer have they have more rods than cones in their eyes, right? I think I've told this story before. More rods than cones in their eyes. And the rods and the cones in their eyes, the more rods, that's so that they can see at night. Cones are for light time, like daytime. So if you've got any of the other light in the spectrum, doesn't seem to bother them, but blue light does. So that's why I chose blue light. The horns, well, there's a computer chip that I've put in there, and that makes the horn do its thing. So there's two of those computer chips. One that runs the lights, and one that runs the horns. And here, I'll flip this camera around as I come up to this other one. Now, I don't know how many times this one has gone off. As you can see, this is perfect for deer to come in and eat it, this alfalfa. I can't believe how nice it looks, actually. Yeah, this alfalfa looks really, really good. Yeah, it's gone off a few times. So, yeah, I have to change out a few. So let me flip you all around. Get you up here. You can possibly see me do this. I'm just setting you up on top of the solar panel. Yeah, solar panel. I have these things solar. There's a solar. It hasn't gone off much. So I've got these set so that they go off at night more than anything. You don't really want them to go off in the daytime unless there's an actual animal out here doing its thing. But at nighttime is when you really want to get them off of here, because in the daytime there's a lot of activity that goes on in this area. There's people going up and down the driveway. The road is right there. There's three houses right there. One is my uncle's house. The other two are other than my uncle's house. And they're right there, and then on the other side of the barn there's two other houses where there's people there kind of pretty much all the time. My cousin lives down there, and the tenant in that house. And then behind me, you'll see that there is another house down in the corner, and she cleans houses for a living. That's what she does. And she's in and out of here all the time. So the deer are kind of used to that sort of thing, coming in and out of here. But at night, they have free range. They could just come right on in and totally annihilate this stuff. So as you can see, the alfalfa is really looking pretty good. I got a little chickweed in there. Chickweed's a pain in the ass. There's a little bit of rye left over from the cover crop, but I have to use a product called Pursuit. And I'm going to use Pursuit and Prowl on this alfalfa. And I need to have it like now. I need it. I need to have that now. So I'm going to cross over into the next field because I have two machines down there. Two machines down here. And those two machines are, they are, at first they're along that woods there. And they were, at first, were really, active, because the deer would come out there. Well, now they barely go off. Now, if you look at this alfalfa, not quite as good here. Why isn't it quite as good, but it looks really good out there? Well, that's a mystery to me. I planted it at the same time. The alfalfa's here, but this alfalfa did not come from my friend Glenn Leduc. This came from Rural King. It was a different variety. So let me get the sun in my right position. It was a different variety. So it's growing and it's doing okay. It's just nowhere near as vigorous as the rest of the farm. And why out there it looks so much better, I have no idea. But it's growing. It'll be okay. It's not going to be it's not as thick as what I'd like to see it for, what I put out here. But I think there was a lot more hard seed in this versus the other stuff, because there's a lot of small ones. Here, I can flip it around and show you. They just seem like, you see, there's a lot of smaller bits here. And it's here. It's fine. It's just not as thick as I'd like it to be. I planted it. Why am I missing a machine? No, I'm not missing one. I was going to say, somebody stole my machine. There's two of them. There's one there. There's one out there. And I see no deer tracks. They're not eating it. There's some ragweed here. This is where I really need to get my ass out here with a sprayer and spray this. But you got to be real careful as to what you spray it with, because of the, with the sprayer, I got to clean it out, because I don't want to kill my alfalfa with something stupid like 2,4-D Banville Clarity or anything else. There's a lot of ragweed right here where I'm walking. I'll flip it around. This stuff needs to die. It's just a spot here. There's a terrace here, and for some reason I think all the weed seed came down. But you get over here, and this particular field is, somebody moved that. I didn't have that close, I don't think. Now, let's see if it works, because there's no deer here. It is completely taken them off of here. When I had soybeans on this last year, the year before, I had beans on it for 2 years. The deer ate this whole thing off. This is this damn blue stem, big blue, whatever. Let's see if she wants to work. Does it work? Yep. So it does work. So, okay, we're gonna leave that one alone. So I just do a test on them, make sure that they're functioning. If they're not functioning, then they're not working, obviously. But you can tell that the deer just aren't there. Because if the deer were in here, these things would have gone off. They worked. They took them completely off. I mean, the alfalfa's here. This is where the water comes down, and if you don't know, alfalfa hates wet feet. You can see where the water had washed that area there. After I planted it, we had 9 inches of rain. But the alfalfa looks really good. Let's see if this machine has gone off. Has it gone off? This one here has not gone off. Is this one not working? It's working. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see. This one here is, once in a while, I don't know why. I think I got it now. It's working. Okay. If that one's not enough to annoy the shit out of you, I don't know what is. So anyway, yeah, those are kind of the functions of the machine. I've walked these fields. There's 85 acres of alfalfa here, and I've walked the fields, and there's not even deer poop out here. So this is the worst field, by the way, even though if you look at it, it's the worst field, but it's not bad. I put 27 pounds of seed to the acre. They wanted between 25 and 30, so I just split the difference there and put 27 or so. Here's a deer track. But that happened in the mud. So I can deal with one set of deer tracks out here. But they're not sticking around. There's no poop out here. And when you have things like that, there's an old rundown barn system in there. There's corn crib and old barns. But yeah, somebody has walked here, and it's not me. That could have been Timothy. I had Timothy in here. Anyway, let me walk over to the other machine, and then we'll talk about that. So as I come up to this one, I want to tell you a little story. It's a good story, not a bad story, but a good story. There's always good stories and bad stories. So that's there. This one has not gone off. That one's working. One of the horns is not working. So anyways, when I was going to plant this alfalfa, my aunt, she is like, "Are you crazy? You're going to plant alfalfa, deer are going to eat it. They're going to eat it." Like, well, I know about the deer and I know about alfalfa, so I think I can take care of the deer. I'm building this machine. And she's like, "Oh, you don't even know it's going to work. You're going to have literally tens of thousands of dollars invested in that alfalfa, and you don't even know if it's going to work or not." Like, well, it'll work. I got faith it's going to work. So, is somebody going over there? Because that was my machine. What the heck? My camera just tripped off. Yeah, this one has gone off. So this one here has gone off. I made this one out of stainless steel. See? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them that have fired. So I will go ahead and let's see if I can possibly just turn you all around here. Let me do this, and you can watch me change these around while I tell my story. Am I retarded there? Sometimes I think I am. So my aunt tells my wife, because my wife, if you don't know, she's from the Philippines, and they don't grow alfalfa in the Philippines. Not a thing that they do there. They grow rice there, right? And when they grow rice, they don't have deer, they have birds. Birds will come in and eat the rice. So she knows what my wife knows what wildlife can do to fields, farm fields. Now my wife is not a province girl. She was raised in Olongapo City, Philippines, and she actually lived in the province for a little bit of her life. Not a lot of it, but a couple of years she spent in the province, and she said that those years were awesome. She had an awesome time there. But anyways, she knows what wildlife can do to crops because of the time she spent in the province. It's only just a couple of years. So anyway, yeah, be careful when you're loading these things. If I do put these things up for sale, and just be really careful when you're loading them, because you can actually blow your finger off with them if you're not careful. Anyway, so my aunt is telling my wife that, oh, those deer, they're going to eat. Ooh. There it went. Those horns suck. I got to get the red horns. Those horns are no good. Anyway, so she was, why is that thing still, it's going to go again. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, so she's telling my wife how deer are just going to annihilate this alfalfa. And I was a little annoyed by it, but, you know, because I know I have faith in my research and in what takes deer off of fields, and I have faith that these machines will do what they're supposed to do because I built them. Now, if you've ever grown alfalfa or soybeans where there is a herd of 40 or more deer every day and night on the fields, you'll know that this would be a cuisine of biblical proportion. The deer would be in here munching this stuff off as fast as it would come up. They really, truly would be. And I actually moved this machine from the other side, and it's gone off. It actually has gone off enough that it spit out the magazine out the back of it. So, oh, I've got a damaged one. She's damaged. Not really damaged, but it came apart like somebody did something to it, but they didn't. Okay, no vandals here, I don't think. So this one's working, obviously. I don't have, the set screw must have just came off is all. Let's see, which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah, the set screw loosened up. Well, we can put it back together. Now, the sensitivity of this thing is off the charts. So let me unplug it real quick. I'm gonna unplug it, and you're not gonna see what I'm doing here. Oh shoot, Wesley. You need to be able to see, and you can't see into the sunlight. I think I need to do this. So there's a thing on here called LUX. Now, LUX, you want to set it to the nighttime gizmo, because LUX is what, how is that possible? Oh. LUX is what makes these things nocturnal or all day and night. I have found that it's better if you put these things so they only function at night, even though they do function during the daytime. What has happened in the daytime is heat distortion heat distortion and from, well, heat, heat distortion. So the heat distortion coming off the fields will set these things off, and it's expensive. It's not expensive to maintain them. A box of these things, this box is 12 bucks, 12 or $13. You can get them cheaper on Amazon, and I will be no longer buying them from Home Depot, but Home Depot has these things readily available for you to purchase at any given time. You can buy them, and it's you can buy them. It's no big deal, but Amazon has them cheaper. So, no wonder the thing. Holy smokes, my rod fell out too. Well, that makes sense because the damn thing. Anyway, let me get that thing back in there. So I have my advancing rod. It fell off when it was running constantly. So I imagine, because the LUX on this thing, it's a learning curve for me too right now, that the LUX on this thing was set to 50-50, so it would be just as sensitive in the daytime as it is at nighttime. And that's all well and good and everything, except I don't need it to go off in the daytime like it was, because there's no point in just snapping these things off. Now, what I've learned by running my machines is that it runs during the daytime. Anything that's hiding in that woods gets very, very uncomfortable about being in the woods in the daytime, because this technically, it sounds like a rifle going off. It's a gunshot. Well, that has kept the deer out of here. And okay, now I'm going to go ahead and plug it back in, and we'll see what it does. Ready? Come on, you miserable thing. Is it going to work? It's not going to work. No, I got to come back here. I will have to come back here with I'll have to come back here with an Allen. Oh, I got an Allen wrench set in the truck. I'll have to go all the way down, get my Allen wrench set. It gives me more time to yab and glab and gab. Yeah. So anyways, I'll just show you the alfalfa as I'm walking across these fields. There's a lamb's quarter. There's some smart weed. There's a few things out here that need to die. But anyway. Yeah, alfalfa deer are not the only problem on alfalfa, okay? If you've ever grown alfalfa, there's all kinds of bugs that can get in here. Insects are a big deal, and the secret sauce will take off most of them, take them out, kill them, without ever damaging the crop. So here's a spot where the water may have laid, or it may have dried up a little too much. When we had 3 weeks of no rain. And it is now since decided that it's going to giddy up and grow. So that's a good thing. But anyways, you get a whole host of insects like thrips, weevils, potato leaf hoppers. There's other mites. You might have some mites or whatever get onto it. I don't think mites are really that big of a problem in alfalfa, but you have to be very vigilant. And when you have 85 acres of this stuff, you got to be Johnny on the spot with the sprayer, whether you're putting down the secret sauce, or whether you're putting dimethoate on, or whether you're using another product that will take out. Now there's a deer that ran down through here. You can see it. So it kept going, it didn't stop, and that was when it was wet. So yeah, I'll have to go and repair that one. Oh, shoot. Well, you get a lot of exercise with this thing too. So if you're not in shape and can't do this, running around up and down the fields, chasing after deer repellent machines, then, hey, what can I say? I don't know. See, here's another weird thing. So the water, this was a fence line here. And my uncle and the other fellas that farmed it before me coming back here they let this grow up in the bushes. And it was literally out into here. It was 20 feet wide, and I had pushed it, killed it, chopped it down, pushed it off, whatever. And you can see that the alfalfa is not very prolific here. It's here, but it looks as though it just didn't have the right nutrient or whatever. Maybe it was too wet. And I got a feeling it was too wet, because if you see the way the field slopes, the water would start at the barn and work its way down there and cause that. So that's one thing about growing alfalfa that I've known here in New Jersey, is you can't ever get it perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. It just doesn't happen. So anyway, but anyway, so that's okay, because I have ambitions on this farm of making a hunting preserve out of a portion of this place. Not a huge one, but one that's big enough that guys can come out, stock pheasants, stock pheasants for them, and turn them loose. And we can start them at the farm, the barn here. And where this fence line went is far enough away from the house. At this fence line here, we make a trail. We plant it with something that birds like to cover in, whether it's sorghum or something like that, or even just a warm season grass. They can start at the barn. They can walk down here. You stock a few pheasants here. They can shoot either way. It'd be fine. And then they go down to the woods on the other side. In the far corner of this field, it's a little too close to that house, so there would be a unload your gun area or no shooting zone, and a nice trail. Probably put a little snack bar down there so the guys can buy some snacks, whatever, if they feel like they need to eat something. They can get some snacks down there. A vending machine, right? You can put vending machines anywhere. Put Coke, no beer. Maybe we could put beer there. Anyway. And then it travels on out to the next field. And there's another 10 acres back there of warm season grass, or bird grass as we call it, and they could hunt that. I'll put trails and stuff through there. It would be pretty awesome. It'd give them a good day's walk, and they'd enjoy it, and life would be good. There goes the neighbor. Now, I'm probably going to set this one off here on my way to the truck, because this is where we are approaching. I've got the LUX set that it should not, but I'm thinking that one is not working. It's not supposed to go off in the daytime. Oh, there it goes. So, you don't want to waste a shot. Okay. So it'll charge. The solar panels keep these things charged up unless they are so sensitive that it runs all day, constantly. And some of them will do that until you get them figured out. But yeah, I will have, when I do decide to sell these things, I will have a detailed what do you call it, instruction manual as to set them up correctly. And if they have problems, there's always troubleshooting, right? So I had to leave that whole thing. Oh, my friend Larry gave me these, so now I got to go all the way back, which is fine. So, holy smokes, should I carry the camera? Yeah, you're going to want to see it, so give me a minute.